In chapter 13, we are going to understand what is the meaning of direct and inverse proportion. Now, direct proportion means when one quantity increases, the other also increases, or when one quantity decreases, the other also decreases. Inverse proportion on the other hand means when one increases, the other decreases. Now, let us take some specific examples to understand what is the meaning of this increase and decrease. Let us look at distance and time. We want to cover a certain distance, let us say 10 kilometer. We are traveling in a car and the car is traveling with a certain speed. Now, the more you want to cover, the more time it will take. We cannot cover larger distance in less time. So, 20 kilometers will take, let us say 1 hour, then 40 kilometers will take more than that, 60 will be take more than that. So, what is going to happen is that as we increase the distance, the time taken to reach our destination will be more. So, distance increases, time also increases. So, this is an example of direct proportion. Distance is increasing, time is increasing. Another example is length of an object and its shadow. If we take a 1 meter rod, the shadow will be of certain length. If we take a 2 meter length rod, then what is going to happen? The length of the shadow will also be doubled. So, more is the height of the object or the length of the object, the length of the shadow will also keep increasing. It is not possible that the length is increasing and the shadow length will decrease. So, this is an example of again direct proportion where the object length and the shadow length both are increasing simultaneously. Next is quantity and cost. Suppose I want to buy one notebook and it is costing me 10 rupees. If I buy 5 notebooks, then it will cost me 50 rupees. More is the quantity, more is the cost. If I want to buy more, I will have to pay more. It is not possible that I am buying 100 notebooks and I will get the less cost as one. So, what happens is, if I want to buy one, the cost will be certain thing x. If I want to buy 2, it will be more than x. So, quantity and cost we can say are directly proportional. The more we buy, the more we will have to pay. So, these are examples of direct proportion. Then what is inverse proportion? Inverse proportion means when one increases, the other decreases. Look at the first example, speed and time. Now, let us consider that we have to reach destination B from A. Now, if we increase the speed, what happens is that we are able to reach destination B in less time. So, which means that our travel time will be dependent on the speed. If we are traveling slowly, then we will take more time. So, speed is slow, time becomes more. If speed is fast, then time becomes less. So, this is an example of inverse proportion. When one increases, the other decreases. When one decreases, the other increases. So, speed and time are inversely related. Look at the workers and time. Second example, when we have more workers, the time taken to finish the work will be less. So, we are increasing the number of workers, time taken will be less. If we have less workers, then time taken will be more to complete a task. So, we will increase the workers, the time will become less. So, number of workers and time will be again inversely proportional. Similarly, we are distributing sweets. Let us say we are distributing a packet of sweets to 10 people and then we are distributing it to 50 people. So, what happens when the number of people increases, then per person sweets will be less. So, we are having more people, then what is going to happen? The number of sweets that each person will get less. So, sweets or for that matter anything that is to be distributed among n number of people, more the number of people, the contribution received per person will become less. So, these are examples of inverse proportion. So, when we are given problems of direct and inverse proportion, by reading the question, first we have to understand whether it is a question related to direct proportion or inverse proportion. So, while reading the question, we will have to see the quantities that are described there and think for about a minute that what is the relation between the quantities. If one is increasing, is the other increasing, and if one is increasing, is the other decreasing, because the method to solve direct and inverse proportion will be slightly different.